Welcome everyone to Buying Local. I'm your host, Mike Nelson from Five Towers Media. Joined today to talk about a new venture that I'm excited to learn about. I'm with Chris from the car shop. He's been on the show a couple times. Last time you were on talking about Requalify 360. Now we're here to talk about the new venture that you're getting off the ground here with Ryan Holderman from 518 Gym, right? Right, Ryan?
Yeah, the gym, yeah.
Nice. And Chris, you'll notice I didn't try to say your last name because I'm gonna butcher it because I do every
That's okay. Just go Chris Mast. We try to just make it really easy and almost idiot proof because I still can't pronounce it myself. So that works out well.
Yeah, all right. You still can't pronounce it yourself. All right, I don't feel so bad then. Um, so guys, if you want real quick before we get into talking about the new venture, maybe we should just give the audience just a quick rundown of just kind of who you are and what you do.
Chris, you go first, bud.
Sure. So I am a local entrepreneur, I guess. I own the car shop, sales and service. Now own Requalify 360, which is a credit repair company. So trying to spread it out. 518 Tow is another one that we just launched that's going
Nice.
pretty well. Um, from Long Island, moved up here a little over 12 years ago, and the community has really embraced me and my businesses and allowed me to have a life that I never really dreamed of. And I ran into this guy a couple years back in his gym, and he kind of he kind of showed me the ropes about some things that needed happening around here with helping families and stuff, and kind of put the bug in my ear about giving back. And um and so that brings us to here, but I'll let Ryan give his little Reader's Digest version of himself.
My little 2 cents. Yeah, so Ryan Holderman, born and raised basically Glens Falls, New York. Had a couple of stints down south. I got into the training industry when I was in New York City. I was there for about 4 years. Learned all the good, the bad, the ugly, and I took it home. My parents were entrepreneurs. They used to own the restaurant Talk of the Town. So I grew up with pizza and chicken fingers.
Nice.
But as an athlete in high school and college, that was kind of like my thing. I didn't know it was going to be a career. Um, Put some roots back home. My first gym was in South Glens Falls, a little small 2,700 square foot space. Let's fast forward 12 years later. We have a 26,000 square foot space in the Aviation Mall right now. But like Chris said, I was always big into helping the community. We've done things from comedic hypnotists, we've done cornhole tournaments. But the thing that really kind of stuck out for Chris and I is that we realized how many people, struggle on a day-to-day basis. And we saw that firsthand when we tag team with Sale and Tyler Whitney, Southern Adirondack Independent Living. And he just gave us a list of people that were struggling, that slipped through the cracks, didn't get any assistance. And, we sponsored 25 families my first year. That was probably 6 years ago. So, our community of people at the gym basically just donated, turkeys, the stuffing, the whole everything, the soaps, the containers.
Yeah, so just to back up a little bit, Mike, he's talking about a Thanksgiving scenario
Yeah.
Yeah.
and feeding families for Thanksgiving.
So when we did that, then the next year was like, okay, 25. Then I shared it with Chris, and Chris was like, I'll do 25 myself. So then we had 50 families, and last year was really eye opening. We got 50 families in the first like 45 minutes. So
Oh wow.
I remember calling Chris, and I was like, hey man, what do you want to do? And he was like, let's just keep it going. Let's go. And the next 24 hours, I think we had 75 more people. And then when it was said and done, we really had an army of people that really helped. And we did over 600 families with 3,000 people from Albany to Mineville, which is like a little bit past Alpena, New York. And we delivered, I think there's 150 people came in and got them, but we delivered about 450 Thanksgiving meals last year.
That's
So,
wild.
yeah.
Yeah. And we're talking turkey, we're talking boxes with pans, turkey, stuffing, potatoes, yams, like the whole king caboodle A to Z.
Fries.
And
Yeah.
literally like cardboard boxes and putting it all together. His 26,000 square foot gym looked like a food pantry or a Walmart or like some combination of it. It was like an assembly line of help. It was really cool. It was really cool.
It was nice too because we had a lot of, like, younger kids that we had, like, parents that donated their kids on teams. So they're like, "Hey, my softball team wants to come in and help." So we had, those guys, helping hand out food one day. But little kids, just making it a family thing so that they could see that they're making an impact as well.
That's amazing. The logistics on that must have been insane.
That's
I
why
can't.
that's
It
why
was
Chris was like, "You got gray in your beard."
it was it was
Why?
it was challenging for sure. But like we were talking the other day, and it's like if you have people that are willing to help, and you have a half of a semblance of a plan, and you're just willing to get shit done,
Mhm.
you can get a lot done really, really fast. And that's kind of what we proved.
And, Mike, we didn't have a plan. It was legitimately like, "Okay, we just gotta do it." Y I
Yeah,
remember
well, the
going
plan was,
loading my
let's see what
truck up
happens.
full of, canned goods, and then, everything that could have went wrong probably went wrong. Meaning,
Didn't we, Ryan, wasn't there, didn't we have a tractor trailer full of turkeys behind the
well,
mall?
turkeys, we had tractor trailer full of turkeys and pies. So I went to Walmart and I was like, "Hey, listen, we need to get." Walmart was super helpful. They put things out their store. They grabbed them from different locations to make sure that we had enough. Um, and it kind of fast forwards us to where we are now because we ran into a lot of those problems because we were organized. We didn't have a plan. So that's why we decided, like, hey, let's make this more official. Let's actually like help more people, but do it the right way. We couldn't get sponsorships from bigger corporations. We missed out on about $5,000 just from one vendor because we weren't a 501c3.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan, so I just got to back up. It's not gray in your beard. Those are called wisdom highlights. And so, just hold on to that, man, because
I will.
the more there is, it just means that just wisdom, just
He
wisdom.
was the one that was giving me shit. I was like, makes me look a little bit older than what I am.
Well, that's it. That's it.
So you guys segued really nicely into what you're doing or what you're launching. So give us the rundown. What are we doing?
Chris, go ahead.
Okay, so like you said, last year we kind of struggled with a little bit of community activism because people literally they wanted to help and they couldn't, right? So we were like, how do we solve this problem? So solve this problem by creating a nonprofit. So we created a nonprofit. It's called 518 Great. Um, and it's literally going to be to just help everybody in need in the area as best we can. Without necessarily having it like Ryan was saying the other day, we were having a conversation and he was like, I don't want it to just be where like there's a tragedy, which happens all the time, and then everybody runs to the rescue and it looks great because Fred Flintstone had an accident and now all of a sudden he had a whole bunch of money. Um, we're looking to just help people that just need a little bit of help and a little bit of guidance and a little bit of hope. Um, and like we were saying earlier, the Thanksgiving thing really helped us last year. Well, really helped them. We had no idea there was going to be a need for 3,000 people that needed help. We were thinking 100, 150. Um, and then it just kind of went crazy and we kind of shut it off sort of last year because we were just at a logistical standstill at the end. And then we still did another 100. We shut it off at 500 families, and we still wound up with 6 and change. Um, but so we were thinking, like, what if we don't shut it off? What if we start earlier? What if we really plan it and we don't run into these logistical hurdles? So that's why we're here now. And our first event is going to be, from a fundraising perspective, is going to be a color run that's going to happen on August 15th at Morrow Rec at 8 a.m. It's going to be a 1 mile and a 5K run. There's going to be a little carnival afterwards too. We're going to have pony rides and DJs and bounce houses and lawn games and food trucks and ice cream and all that kind of fun stuff. Um, the goal of that is to raise as much money as we can because fast forward a little bit, end of August, early September, date to be determined, we're going to have a back to school day. And I'll let Ryan tell you a little bit about what the back to school day is going to entail.
Well, a lot of my demographic and clientele is in the education field. So we've seen that there's a consistent struggle, not just from the school, but from the families as well, where, the teachers are now having to come out from out of pocket to, outsource their classroom. And not to mention kids with back to school, having to have new clothes, kids grow nonstop, their sneakers grow, their clothes grow. So we wanted to do a whole back to school day where we have local vendors, that's barbers, hairdressers, dentists, where we have a full book bag for them, everything that they're going to need all year long. The nice thing to see is a kid open up new sneakers and, oh my God, look at those things. Those ones light up. Well, I've never had a pair of Nikes before. But just to be able to prepare them. And like Chris said before, to give a little bit of breath of fresh air or a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel that, hey, that's one less thing that I have to spend money on. And if we can assist in that, then I think it makes everybody's jobs and lives a little bit easier. And I think that's the goal of this organization, is not to solve, but just to help in every little way that we can, to make everybody's life, just to help people smile. And I think when we were delivering the food for everybody, that's one of the most gratifying things, is that you can help. And that's our mission, that's our goal. And yeah, I think this is going to be a fun thing. It's going to be, and we were talking about it yesterday. Um, you're not going to remember the 5K and what place that you came in, but you're going to remember the color. You're going to remember the pictures. You're going to remember the video that you're going to be able to pull up. And hey, remember when you were, 6 years old and you were in that color run? Now you're 16 and you still do it. That type of stuff.
Yeah. That's amazing, you guys. I, you talk about the logistical nightmare of of doing that many meals. What is it? Like I know
No, it's super funny.
a little bit about setting up a nonprofit, like this, right? Like what is it set that nonprofit in?
Chris, it was pretty easy.
Yeah, so it's
It was.
it was, there's services that do that stuff. And again, we're blessed, so we were able to put up a little bit of money to kind of make it happen. But that's really the easy part. That's just, paperwork and that sort of a thing. That happens to be something that when you're experienced in that field, it's not really a big deal. It's everything that comes now that's kind of the hard part. And it's funny, we knew we were gonna do this, and of course we were running out of time because that's just who we are. We finally got the date the other day approved at Moro Rec. And then it's like, oh, great. We've been waiting for this day for, 2 weeks. Now we know it locked in, and now we need to start running again, right? So now it's you have a million vendors that you have thoughts about that you're gonna reach out to, but you're not gonna reach out until you have a date, right? And time and all that stuff. And so now that we have that, now it's like, all right, let's run, let's pivot, let's put A into place and B into place. And this food truck's not happening. Okay, let's get this guy instead. And it's just really cool though. And when we were talking the other day, it's like we kind of operate at a different speed than most people, I think. So that's what allowed us to serve 3,000 people last year, and that's what's going to help us serve this. But yeah, in 3.5 weeks, we got the date for less than a week. Sorry about that. We're going to put together an event that's hopefully going to raise over $20,000, and I'm super confident that we'll smash that goal. And the community is going to have a lot of fun. It's going to definitely be the first annual, and I think a back to school day is going to be pretty badass. I think it's going to be really, really a hit for the neighborhood.
You said you move at a different speed. That was one of the things I was thinking about as you guys were talking. I was like, man, I'm like, Ryan, you're running a gym, full-time business, you're training clients. Any of us that are business owners know what it entails and what goes into every single day just to run a business, let alone to operate it and be in it and be performing some of it. And obviously, Chris, you're running multiple businesses at this point. I know you got a great team behind you that helps you do the things that you do. But how do you make time for all this? Like what the speed you're talking about that you guys move at? Is it like the speed of light? Like what? Like how do you How do you do all these things?
For me, it's definitely team related. For me, I have an incredible team, 98% of the time. Um, and I curse them 2% of the time. That's why I say 98. But yeah, you put really good people in good places, and it allows you to kind of separate some stuff and get shit done.
Love it.
I think for me, it's just utilizing all your 24 hours in a day. Like a lot of us, your phone's gonna tell you how much time are on social media.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of like if you have enough time, it's just priority. But I also think that if you actually extend and it's not an ego-based thing, like, hey, pump your chest, look what we did. I think one thing that I do really well is I connect the dots really well. So it's I know somebody who knows somebody that can do this to open up this door for us. But our intentions are very genuine, so I feel like people will always follow that and will always ask to help. Like, we just did a podcast yesterday on my podcast, and it's a Facebook Live thing, and you wouldn't believe how many people that I was like, "Hey, I can't make it to the event, but how do I help? I wanna be a part of this. How can I do this? I know somebody who can get you this." So, I think track record that knowing that, hey, we're here for the community and we've been present and we're homegrown, I think gives people the reassurance that, it's the right thing. And like Chris said yesterday to me, he's like, everybody wants to help. Everybody is bred to help. Some people just don't have the avenue. Some people don't want to be visible. Some people want to be behind the scenes. But I think everybody's heart is always in the right space. So it's just allowing people to share their generosity like we do.
Yeah. Well said.
Sweet.
Well said.
So you've got the run coming up, and you said it's a color run. What does that mean?
Yeah. So when they're running, there's other color markers where they're going to get splashed with color. So they're gonna have white shirts when they come out, and like Chris said, is like, "Hey, you're gonna look like tie-dye Tammy when you leave," you know? So I mean, that's the fun part, and not just for kids, man. Like that's unlock the kid in all of us. Let us do that. Let us hop in the dunk tank. Let us do fun lawn games and just create memories. I think that's what you're always gonna remember. You're never gonna remember the 5K they ran around a circle or around the neighborhood. We remember those type of different things. Like Chris and I did this mountain race a couple years ago where we hiked up a mountain, that was 1,000 feet in elevation, up and down as many times as you can for 24 hours. I'll never forget that.
Never forget it. And I didn't beat 24 hours either, but I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
That was one of the dumber things I've done, but I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty hardcore. So you got the run, you got the back to school, and then I assume you're gonna do turkeys again.
For sure.
You're gonna do things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We talked about that number, not capping that number. So we'll help whatever we can in that capacity too.
I just got to ask on that front, like, where does all the food come from?
So I had a client that was pretty high up in a Walmart, and she really helped, just put me in contact with the manager. They had to pull some stuff from one store to another store. They had to, I mean, and we're not allowed to have a tractor trailer truck from Walmart, but they had a tractor trailer truck rental company let us use it, just to bring it outside the gym, and then we would load up all of our trucks and cars full of all the turkeys and the pies
Wow.
and all the canned goods and all that. So
It
Walmart was a
you-
big distributor.
Yeah, Walmart was huge.
Did it have to be refrigerated?
So it was cold, so it couldn't be inside the gym. So outside it was freezing then. So yeah, it was all good. But it was only here for the day before.
Well,
So
that's
it
what I was
was
gonna.
overnight.
Yeah, was it like it's like loaded all in and then loaded
We
all
were
out?
lucky.
Yeah,
So
it was like a mad dash.
we were lucky that we weren't almost gonna have it all. We almost didn't get all the supplies that we needed.
Yeah.
So I remembered like the night before, I'm like, Chris, man, this sucks.
Oh, and we were like going store to store to like get
Yeah.
the last 4 boxes of stuffing. Like it was at the end, it was crunch for sure.
Kid I went to high school with was a manager at Hannaford, and I was like, hey man, I need 50 turkeys. He's like, okay, I'll get them for you. So I had to go to the one in Glens Falls. Yeah, so we were pulling all resources and
Yeah. And literally everybody pitched in, but like what Ryan was just saying, like people want to help. Like
yeah.
a lot of times people don't know how, there's no vehicle for it, but like because we're so community based, like it's just really, really nice. Everybody comes together locally. You know, my store's a mile from his gym, and my team's putting stuff together, and his whole clientele. I mean, you got
Like, we should show you the video.
yeah, it's really it's a side
We
video.
Yeah, we documented the entire thing, and it was really, really I wish I could say like gratifying, because that doesn't even do it justice. You know, it really pulls a heartstring when you can see so many people are just doing the right thing. And Chris mentioned it yesterday to me, and he was like, listen, the news is just the news. It doesn't sell. Positivity doesn't sell. It's all the negative stuff that we see on the news, and it's this murder and this tragedy and this. We don't get a chance to listen. And I don't even want to say anything, but our local news didn't even know about this. And it's not like I said before, it wasn't ego driven. It was just, we have an expression at the gym. It's just be a good human.
Yeah.
Literally
I
just
love
be a
it.
good human.
I love what you guys are doing, man. Are you already thinking about other events that you might do after Thanksgiving?
I mean, we kind of like tossed around an idea last year, to kind of play off of what we were doing. We were talking about like a parade where my space is in a mall where, we could do like a toy drive, but they can come in and have an experience with carolers and firefighters and, Santas, and just take toys and hot chocolate, things like that. So we've dabbled with that idea. I'm
It'll
partial to
happen.
golf
The
doing it.
reality is, Mike, it'll happen. All these little ideas, these little nuggets that fall into the dirt somehow, they all wind up sprouting into something chaotic, like feeding 3,000 people.
Yeah.
So we'll do something badass for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it sounds like you guys are off to an amazing start already with what you're doing and what you have planned and what you've already accomplished. It's and Ryan, I like to your point, I think that the number of people that you guys are helping is astounding. And I mean, the work that you're doing is very admirable, and it's no wonder people want to get involved and want to help. So it's huge. I hate to use the word kudos, but I'm like huge kudos to you guys for doing what you're doing, and it's a really sounds like it's a very selfless act. So we need more of that stuff out in the environment, especially locally here at home. So what's
Yeah.
guys, I know that we're getting short on time, but if people want to learn more, they want to get involved, they want to jump in and help, what does that look like?
518great.org is the website. It's kind of bare bones to be, we got it up. Like I said, everything was kind of last minute. As per usual, it'll be more intact as the days roll, but the Facebook page is the same, 518 Grade. We'll be liking and sharing. The car shop and the gym pages will be bouncing off everything. And yeah, man, reach out to me, reach out to Ryan, reach out to Mike. He'll connect some dots here for sure. But
100%.
we definitely want to, 1,000 book bags would be really cool. And 5,000 or more Thanksgiving meals, and then we'll figure out Christmas when Christmas rolls around.
Yeah.
No, the thing too that we talk about is, those are 2 days, where people struggle. If we could just implement ourselves to help people on the other 363 days where, you know, they they're thinking about what are we gonna eat today? What's that meal look like for our family? And I told the story yesterday in our podcast is, I went to a family's house and I said, "Where do you want me to put this box?" And they're like, "On the floor." And they said, "That's where we eat." And I returned to the same house the year after, and it was the same thing. So, it's hard to see that, and not want change.
Mm.
So, if we could just help and it's just a little bit. I think that is the overall goal, not just to say like, "Hey, we're gonna do an event and it's quarterly." I would love to be able to have somebody reach out and write a letter being like, "Hey, this family is struggling. They're too proud to ask for it. Hey, here's groceries on us for the week. We're sponsored by Hannaford. We're give us a Hannaford card." So I think that's more of like our mission rather than just to say, "Hey, you know, let's just do something for Thanksgiving and make sure they have a meal one time, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
Well,
let's
any help?
promote hope. Let's promote hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, any help that we can give, we're obviously very happy to do it. You know, website wise, if you guys need any help, sounds like you're covered, but if you need help, free of charge. I got a whole team happy to
I'll take it.
throw them your way and support you guys. We need more of that stuff in the world, so love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I appreciate you, Mike. It was really nice to see you again.
Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate you guys coming on. Thanks for coming on and talk about what you're doing and share the story.